maybe some things that you're grateful for this morning. We are excited to have everyone here and join us. Justin, show up in the room.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. People are coming in. Good morning, everyone. As you are coming in, please maybe share some things that you're grateful for this morning, maybe where you're tuning in from. So excited to have everyone here. As you see, everyone on here today is an incredible rock star. So we are excited for today. Welcome to day 2 of this incredible training in this incredible series. And we're so excited to have you guys on 8 days of hope. We've already brought you one incredible day. So as you're coming on, say good morning. We are right at the dot. So we're going to wait for some people to hop on. But all right, here we go. Well, good morning, everyone, again. Everyone is coming in. So I'm excited to, I'm actually honored to be your host today. My name is Michelle Bamba, for those who don't know me. I am an integrated presidential director with Optavia, and I'm excited to be coming in. I'm tuning live from Bora Bora, and that's what's amazing about this business, you guys, is that you can work from anywhere. And, I'm actually really excited to talk about this trip because this was a dream in the making for 9 years. And so as you are coming on, share maybe some things that you're grateful for as we will get started. We have an incredible hour with you guys. So, all right, you guys ready to get going? So let me share a little bit with you guys about what we're really going to be talking about today. We titled this Dreams Take Work. And there's a reason behind that, is because they do. I want everyone to really, as you are listening today, I really want to encourage you guys to really start dreaming big, because that is what Optavia really allows us to do, is to dream big. A little bit about, the backstory of why we are in Bora Bora, this week is, 9 years ago, we had this dream. And, lots of times, we stop dreaming as we get older. I mean, put it in the chat. How many of you are guilty of that? As we get older, we stop dreaming, right? And, maybe we don't know how to dream. Maybe we had dreams, growing up and just never came true. I mean, wherever the story is. And so, we had this dream 9 years ago. We were at our first year wedding anniversary. And, we were young, we were broke, and, we were just talking about, where we'd like to be in 10 years. And this was this place that I dreamed of 10 years or 9 years ago. And I thought, you know what, there's no way. We laughed. There's no way this is going to happen. Like, this is such a lucrative trip. We did not think this would ever be possible. And let me tell you guys, Optavia made this possible. And if it wasn't for Optavia, there's no way ever that we would be here. There's no way that we would have ever planned this. And so the fact that we are here 9 years later because we had this dream and Optavia made it possible, it just brings chills to me. Like, it really does, because that is what Optavia allows you to do. If you have dreams, I want to encourage you to live them out and, have them written down. A lot of times we come into coaching, and how many of us are just like, yeah, I want to coach, and we just, we set a few small goals. But I want to encourage you to really plan those out, because sometimes we tend to dream, or we tend to have things that, we want from coaching, or maybe we want to make an extra amount of money from coaching, but what does that represent to you? And I want you to think about that. Is, what does that represent? What is that going to allow you to do? So, really dig deep into those dreams and into those goals of what you want to do with this, because anything that you do with it, anything is possible. I kid you not. We are living proof that anything is possible if you just set those goals, you set those dreams, and you just go for it. And you know what? It does take work. It's not easy, and there's going to be times where it's going to be tough, but as long as you just keep going and you do not give up, that is the one thing I will say that makes a very not successful coach, is the fact that they give up too early. So just don't give up, whatever you want to do, and just keep going. But I'm excited for today. Today is going to be a packed hour. We've got incredible people who are really going to share their hearts. They're going to share, really what it takes. And so I'm excited to get this going. So first, I'm excited to bring on, an incredible coach who hasn't been coaching very long, you guys. It's only been a few months, but she is going to share with you guys what is possible when you don't give up. So I'm excited to bring on an incredible coach, Amy Wood, my friend. Please come on and just share your story.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
I'm so excited we all get to be together today. It really, truly is one of my favorite parts of Optavia is this amazing coaching community. I think, we all have something very special here together. And so I'm going to start my timer and talk really fast. I have a lot of things I want to say. So a little backstory on my health journey, just to give you a quick picture. The last 5 years have been incredibly difficult at times. I was diagnosed with a stress-induced autoimmune that led to neuropathy, fibromyalgia, loads of medications. All of that really brought that dreaded weight gain, low self-esteem. A few years ago, I had a miscarriage. My husband and I were separated for a short time and almost close to a divorce. I drank nearly every day. It was consuming my life. I was devastated and I totally lost myself. My drive and ambition for like anything more in my life really just seemed impossible to feel better. And I was scared of change. I didn't know what life would look like or how I could even make it a reality, but I saw that I had two choices. I could keep things the way they were, or I could take a chance and try something new. And only one had the potential to get me different results. So I began my health journey in December of 2019, and I started coaching in April of this year. I became so passionate about what I was accomplishing with my own health and in my life that this mission to help others find the same hope in their life was kind of a no-brainer, right? So when I talk to people, they can hear the passion in my voice. They can feel that authenticity of what I'm offering them by sharing a part of my story that relates to them. It really allows them to envision it coming true for them as well. So I wanted to give some of you a little inspiration about kind of what's possible when you follow your mentor's lead. So in just 6 months, I was able to reach Fibic. How? I still ask myself this, but I had a few coaches also ask me, how did it happen so quickly for you? Because it seems to be going very slow for me, right? And this might be you too. So a few examples of where I connect with people. So I'm involved in my church Bible studies. I reach out to friends from prior jobs. I'm involved in my kids' schools, even nail salons, hair salons. And when I meet people, I listen to them. How can we help serve them where they are, right? By knowing what people do for a living, what they desire for themselves. I feel like that's networking, right? We can refer people to them and likewise back to us. We have to always continue to brand ourselves as a health coach, grow our network, and reach more people no matter where we start. And my point is, it does take time to build relationships and trust, and it's always possible for anyone to build this. My husband has always been the dreamer. I have always dismissed bigger dreams. I used to think my husband was out of his mind for some of the things he would come up with, but it's because I didn't understand them. I was clearly not in a good place mentally for so many years. I was a dream crusher, y'all. It wasn't until Optavia that my mind really started to shift from being a dream crusher really to a dream maker. And I started to think bigger and be bigger and doing things scared, kind of like this today, and being more open on social media. And I wanted the big dreams more than I wanted to just not do something scared. So we often hear from a lot of coaches and clients that this program changed my life. Well, it did. And for me, it gave me purpose, one that wasn't just being a wife or a mom. It was for me. And by getting healthy and changing the way I did life every day allowed me to show up better for everyone around me. My marriage is growing into something beautiful. Alan is my best friend. And for the first time in our whole relationship, I feel like we're building our own dreams together, and we have a very vivid future vision of things that we want. And I'll share that list another time. It's pretty long. And coaching is really, it's allowed me to leave a full-time job. I can be home. I make my own schedule around what matters most, and that's my family. It's also brought Alan home more. He went from playing 35 gigs, like music events every single month, and He has gone a lot, right? So to playing part-time for enjoyment, he doesn't have to do that anymore. He gets to do that. And he's really stepped into like a huge support to me with health coaching. Don't give up if things are moving slowly for you. It's not a race. Be consistent and live out loud, you guys. I'm sure you've all heard that famous line in the movie, from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. Coaching can and will lead you to your own field of dreams. Whatever those dreams are, you can make it happen. You can. And because I feel like sometimes when we think like we feel like it's the end, it's often just the beginning, and we just have to take the steps forward. That's all I got.
Wow. I love that. That's all you've got, you guys. Was that not amazing? This is something that you're going to hear in these stories, right? Of how much this has really transformed lives. In a matter of 6 months, her life is completely different. So thank you, Amy, for sharing your heart and just sharing, what this has allowed you to do in such a short amount of time. And congrats to you, because 6 months FIBIC is absolutely incredible. And such an amazing accomplishment to achieve. So isn't that awesome, you guys? And that's what you're going to hear. It's literally, these stories are just, this is what Optavia allows people to do. And this is the gift that you're giving away. And I hope you know that you truly see that this is a gift that you now received. And now it is our duty to really give that away. So thank you. All right, you guys, we are going to keep the fun going, and we are going to bring on another incredible couple who just very excited for them and what they've been able to do. And they're going to share with us what is possible. So Amber and Guy, come on and just share with us your.
Got it. Hi, we're Amber and Guy Leah. And Amy, what an awesome story. I love hearing that Optavia allowed you to become, go from dream crusher to dream maker. That is just, is amazing. That's exactly what our journey has been. We really dug in the spring around May, where I joined Amber in this, and it is just amazing to see what has happened. But Amber has a word for you guys, so I'm just going to turn this over to her and let her run with it today.
Thank you. Yes. So one of the things that was a turning point for Guy and I in our journey as health coaches is that we were in the entertainment industry, and things started to really take a turn for the worse about 1.5 years or so ago. We developed, we developed an original series with Netflix, and it got killed after 18 months of working really hard. We ended up working right up until we thought we were going to start filming. And that project got killed. And so we didn't get paid. So we put 18 months of work into that job, and all our dreams just kind of started to fall apart. And I had lost 65 pounds. Guy had lost 65 pounds on this plan. And we were kind of playing with coaching. And we thought, you know what? What do we have to lose? Our mentor coaches are telling us this is a clear, simple pathway to success. Let's jump in and see what happens. And here's the thing. We had some giant problems when we started really leaning into coaching in the spring. We had giant problems financially. We had giant problems with our confidence and our feelings of just value because we were not feeling successful. And when we decided to jump into coaching, well, I was reading a story yesterday. It's one of my favorite stories, the story of David and Goliath. You're probably familiar with it. And we felt a lot like David, this little shepherd boy. If you're familiar with the story, it comes from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17. David is this little insignificant shepherd boy in the field, and he's part of the Israelite people. And the story goes in history that the Philistine people were coming against the Israelites, and they were mighty, and they had this mighty warrior. It says that he was a champion. His name was Goliath. And Goliath was coming at the Israelite people. The Philistines were coming at the Israelite people, and they were saying, we're going to defeat you and take over you, and you're going to serve us. And they said, we're going to fight a battle. You bring your best man. We've got Goliath at the front line. You bring your best man and come at us. And if you win, then we will serve you. And if we win, we will serve you. And nobody. So for 40 days, Goliath comes to the front line, and he's telling people, bring your best man. He's got all this armor, and he's 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. And you know what happened? For 40 days, he taunted the Israelites who were all on the front line. And it says that they were terrified, the Israelites. They were terrified, and they would run in the opposite direction when Goliath would come forward. And then you've got this little shepherd Israelite boy, David, and he's just coming to the front line to bring his older brothers some food. And he happens to hear Goliath taunting them, this big giant that's causing all kinds of problems for them. And he's like, wait, what is he saying? And he's like, how dare he insult us. And he's like, I can go and do it. And the king of the Israelite army, this Saul, says to him, here, take all this armor. Here's all this equipment. Here's all this fancy stuff. If you really want to try to go and fight and put all this on. And David's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't need any of that. And he goes to a river and he gets 5 smooth stones, just 5 smooth stones. And he runs at Goliath, and Goliath sees him coming and he starts laughing at him like, who do you think you are that you're going to try to defeat me? And so David comes at Goliath. He puts 1 of 5 smooth stones. That's all he had. He didn't have the big sword. He didn't have the armor bearer. He didn't have the helmet. He just runs at him and he flings that stone and it hits Goliath right in the center of the forehead. And you know what happens to Goliath? He falls like a ton of bricks. And David runs at him, even though Goliath had been insulting him like, what, you're going to come and try to change things? You think you can have victory over this big war, this big battle, this giant of a problem that you've got? And David does exactly that. And then David stands over him and cuts his head off and holds his head up, and he's victorious. And so, you know, I love that story because every one of us that are coaches are Davids. We see the world and all of our problems and all of these big issues, financial issues, personal issues, and we think this is too much. We can't defeat that. And we think we've got to have a master's degree and all this team and invest tons of money in a business in order to be successful. And that's not true. All we need is 5 smooth stones. And every one of us watching, if we're coaching, has 5 smooth stones, because all you need is your story. I lost 65 pounds on this plan. It changed my life, my health for my 4 sons. All you need is the stone of an amazing plan and program. You've got an amazing story. You've got an amazing, simple program. All you need is people with which to fight for. You have people to fight for. I just read some statistics that more than 50% of Americans are suffering from a preventable chronic disease because they're overweight or obese. 50%. That means half the people in your Facebook feed are desperately in need of what you have. That's a smooth stone. That's a stone in your sling that you can use to help people fight their giants in their lives. You know what you need? You don't need all this other things. You don't need to have an incredible, MBA degree or all this stuff. You just need your story. You need a program and you need people and you need a platform, and you have one in social media. People are desperate for help. And you know what? We're not only fighting the battle of obesity and disease in our country, and I'm passionate about helping more people because I've seen what it's done for me. But this plan, Optavia, coaching with Optavia, listening to my mentor, that's one of your other smooth stones, is having a mentor and a coaching community like this. That's all we need to be successful in this plan. And you know what? We were able to slay our giant of feeling crushed by our finances, because we went from making a monthly bonus of around $737 in May, and then we leaned into coaching. And this month we're making right now just under around $7,000 a month. That is mind blowing. I'm going to wrap it up. But when I was a teacher, I taught for 10 years and I loved teaching and it was rewarding. But I had to work for 2 years full time and then going to grad school full time to end a master's degree, to after a year of work to finally go to my job review and make a case for a 3 to 5% raise. And you know what? I can double and triple my income within a matter of months as a coach with those 5 smooth stones in my little shepherd's bag. And so can you. Listen to your mentor coach. Listen to them. Success leaves clues. This is not complicated. Share your story. Offer the gift of this plan to the people in your neighborhood and in your community. And slay your giants. One healthy habit, one person at a time. That's all I got.
That's all you got. My gosh, you just preached it. I mean, Guy, is there anything that you want to add to that? That was so good, you guys. Oh my gosh. I know. I love it. I love it. That was so good. You guys, your story, right? She kept mentioning your story. Your story is what you have, and your story is powerful. And you just share that with every single person. And so I love that. Thank you so much, you guys. My gosh. And you guys, I want to really encourage you that that's what we do in this is all we do is we share our story. People do not buy Optavia because of Dr. A. They do not buy Optavia because of the program. They buy you. They buy you and your story and your excitement to share that. And so are you sharing that boldly? Are you sharing that with every single person that you know, people that you don't know? Are you sharing that? Are you branding yourself? Ah, God, so good, you guys. Okay. All right. So let's get into, I mean, that was so amazing through Amber, Guy, Amy, of stories of what is possible and what they've been able to do. You guys, they've been coaching less than a year. They started coaching this year through this time that we're in. And look what they've been able to create. Is that what you want to create? Is that what you want to do? Okay. So let's now get into something that we really, really need to get into. And, you know, we can teach you all of the skill sets. We can help you with the mindset. The one thing that we cannot teach you is action and getting into action. That is on you, right? If you want to create something big, if you have big dreams with this, it's going to require some action. It's going to require getting into action. And so I'm excited to bring on just an incredible coach who's really going to share with us, you know, skill sets, mindset, and action. So Miss Annika Relaford, just take it away.
Oh, thank you, gorgeous. You guys, I'm sitting here this morning, just in tears for every single one of you, knowing what's possible. How many of you guys are sitting back here and you're listening to these incredible people and you're just so dang inspired and you're like, oh my God, I could never be like that. They're just so like amazing and unreachable, right? Or maybe you're really inspired at this moment and going, I know that I could do that. You guys, I didn't believe it. And I'm probably going to get a little bit emotional here as I'm sitting here just in massive gratitude in the month of December, doing things that we never thought possible. See, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. And that was scary. I was in the medical field for 15 years and I was really good at what I did. And I got paid very, very well. But it was killing me softly inside. And, you know, when I started this, it was very, very scary. And fear led to a lot of concepts that held me hostage and playing small, right? Like there was things that happened now and I was like, oh my God, Jamel, like nobody's signing up. I feel like people think like I'm trying to sell them. In fact, I had somebody say that to me. Like where people I'm talking to, they're just not ready right now. People can't afford it. They feel like it's too expensive. You know, I've spoken to so many people. In fact, one of the people that I tried to talk to when I first started training calls, she was like, want nothing to do with this. She's a family member. Needless to say, she is now a coach, not with us, but somebody else. But see, this is the kind of stuff that like we all deal with. Okay. Especially things like, I don't want to post on social media because it's none of their business. That was one of the biggest things that held me back, you guys. So when we first started this, I remember saying, you know what, it's really nobody else's business that our marriage was on the rocks, right? That we were secretly dying inside, that we were stretched too thin by horrible spending habits, that my father tried to commit suicide in the depths of growing our business, that I had been sexually assaulted in the medical field twice with no recourse. And mostly that I hid fast food bags in the trash because I was busy eating my feelings every single day because of where we're at. And then it shifted, you guys. I made a decision that my mess was going to be my message. If my son could survive the unthinkable and really contend for his life at the age of 6 from a rare condition only 6 kids had ever been diagnosed with worldwide, what the heck was my problem? So I made a decision. And I said, if it was going to be, it was up to me. All it takes is a decision, you guys. It's a decision to be better always and contend. How many people do you think right now are chasing better after this year? So I want to talk to you guys about the 3 things that you need as the foundation for success. It all boils down to 3 things. It's skill set, it's mindset, and it's action. So let's talk about the first thing, skill set, you guys. Who here, again, looks at these leaders here going, oh my gosh, I could never be amazing as they are. Their candor, their diction, their public speaking, their posture, all of these things, like, how could I ever be like that? Or maybe you're like me, and I really aspired to be like that. I was like, I need to get better at my public speaking. I want to be better with my candor, with my diction, with my posture, all of these things. And I aspired to be that. You guys, that's kind of what it takes. Look, we can always get better at skills, health assessments, learning to post on social media, how to have authentic conversations. You can always get better. That's a skill set. And the beautiful thing is that you all have the ability to go do that, right? So how do we do that? We're going to want to be a student. We're going to want to work on ourselves constantly. So think about what you want to get better at every single day and start putting it into your day, right? So grab things like personal development books, get on these boot camps. This takes time. It's like a brand new job. How many of you started a brand new job and when you first start, you feel completely overwhelmed and you have like no idea what you're doing? You're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And then like weeks later, a month later, you could do like 15 different things at the same time. It's because you did things consistently over and over again, and it made it easier. It's just a skill set. Okay. So the second thing is all about mindset. Everything rises and falls on your emotions and your thoughts. So I want to ask you guys right now, how do you see it? Your thoughts are everything. Are your thoughts actually serving you for what you truly want, your goals, your future, all of that? So what you focus upon grows upon. So I want to challenge you guys to see it bigger, see it better, see it bolder. We can't go achieve better until we start thinking better and choosing better. And for me, I knew I couldn't succeed with the same software, you guys, right? I couldn't succeed with my own stinking thinking. It kept me playing small. It kept me playing mediocre. It was like time to download Annika 2.0, right? My fixed mindset needed to switch to a growth mindset. It was all it took. When I started working on me, my ego, right? Developing the leader within myself and shifting myself, all things started to change. You guys, these two things are amazing, but action begets all. Nothing happens if nothing happens. If you want muscles, just thinking about them ain't gonna produce them, right? You're gonna have to do your own push-ups. You're not gonna build muscle overnight. So daily, consistent action is key. It's the number one thing that creates results, you guys. Now, this is where frustrations can happen. Most people think that what I do today, right now, produces results today. The biggest opportunity I had to learn was delayed gratification, right? I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing all this work. I'm reaching out to so many people. I'm posting conversations, all this stuff. Why isn't it producing today? You guys, it does produce. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it isn't producing results. So, excuse me, lead with your health, you guys. This is the action. Work on you, work on your posts, start conversations. And it's not just doing one thing, it's multiple streams that actually helps you get where you want to be. You guys, the only difference between all the speakers that you see here today is that they've just been practicing these things just a lot longer and they've not stopped. So you guys, I want to encourage you, just stay, do the work, do the self work, do the heart work, do the hard work. All things are possible. But if it's going to be you guys, who's it up to?
Wow. That was incredible. If it's up, think about this, you guys. I mean, you're getting all of this for free. All of this inspiration, all of this, I mean, Annika just laid it out, right? It's up to us. What we create is up to us. So if it's going to be, who's it up to? Exactly how she left it. It's up to us, right? That was so good, my friend. Thank you so much. And because I really hope that you're getting a lot out of this. I really hope that this is bringing you not just inspiration, but really giving you that motivation to put in the work, because it's not always going to be easy. There's going to be things that happen. There's going to be life that happens, but it's what you do through it all, right? It's just keep going. Just keep going. That was so good. So next we're going to really get into, I know as we come into this business and maybe we're putting in a lot of work, sometimes we tend to overthink this business. We tend to overthink every single thing that we do. We tend to overcomplicate this business when it's not a hard business. It is such an easy business. It's not always going to be simple. It's not always going to be easy. There's going to be a lot that really requires from us. And so I'm really excited for our next guest to come on, who's really, I'm very excited for him to talk about this topic, because I think it's something that we all need to hear, because there's times that we're going to get into these seasons and that we do overcomplicate this business, or we do overthink this business. And it's not about really the business, it's we overthink on ourselves. And so I'm excited to bring on Justin Avini to come on and just share with us. So Justin, my friend, I'm going to pass it to you.
What up, guys? What up, man? So many good nuggets out here. I think, if you're listening to these stories, what we talk about with the overthinking, and thanks, Michelle, for bringing me on. I've been doing this almost 8 years now. February will be 8 years for me. And one of the biggest things I can share with you guys is a little bit of my story. A lot of you guys are newer coaches. Some of you guys are seasoned coaches. But I just want to share, I came into this strictly for the business. I didn't really think I had a weight loss goal, even though I did lose 18 pounds. I got off energy drinks. That was all exciting, but I came into it more for the finances. I was hurting. I was in a place of desperation. I didn't even realize life could be better than it was. But my story is the same as your guys' stories. And some questions I want to ask you guys about overthinking it is, first off, put a 1 in the chat if I can speak freely, because sometimes I get offensive, and I know there's newer coaches on here. So I just want to make sure we're good to go with everybody. And I don't mean offensive in a bad way. I just mean sometimes I tell you how it is. And I know we got newer coaches, but I just want to get a green light. All right. We got a lot of ones. So if you don't like it, love you anyways. But my thing is this, I'm not overthinking it. What I'm going to share with you right now, I'm not overthinking it. You can even tell I didn't even overthink my outfit. I didn't put my makeup on. I did do my hair. But the thing is with this business, we need to make sure that we're doing what the systems say. When you start having clients that are overthinking the 5 in 1, and I need to exercise and I need to do this, what happens? They don't get results. It's the same thing with our business. There is a system in place. Dr. A talks about a super highway. I mean, we have the app. We have the structure of how to order for clients. We have your mentor showing you how to welcome people in here. But going back to my story real quick, I came into this in a place where I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know how to use a Facebook. I didn't know how to use a computer. My thing was I could talk to people. Maybe that's all I really had going, and I didn't care, or I didn't overthink what there was. So I came in hit the ground so hard running with this and just following action steps, almost like a little puppy with little treats in front of me from Jamil, my coach, all the way to Integrated National. I don't know if you guys know what Integrated National is for some of you newer coaches, but that's duplicating your executive director self 3 times and also having 5 senior coaches in the process, right? I got that far into this business where Jamil reached out to me and he was congratulating me on ranks along the way. And he's like, dude, you hit Integrated National. And I'm like, what is that? That's how so much I didn't overthink this. So here's some questions I'll ask you. Who pays your bills? Who pays your bills? Do your friends pay your bills? Do strangers pay your bills? Do the people on social media that you're worried about what they're thinking pay your bills? If your water's going to shut off when they have something to say about your program, they'll say it. But when your water shuts off, are they going to hand you something to pay your bills? So then what does it matter what they think? Don't overthink it. Share it on Facebook anyways. Share your story anyways. The second question I'll ask you, don't overthink it. Well, how do I talk to this one guy because he's a real estate agent, but then I need to go get Susie, who's a coach over here, because she's a real estate agent, and I need to have her talk to this dude because they're real estate agents and the real estate with the thing, or a plumber or a roofer or a trainer, or you just share your story. How do you share your story with a stranger? Or excuse me, how do you share any information with a stranger? You share your story. How do you share the program with your family? You share your story. How do you share this program with anybody? You just share your story. Don't overthink it. They'll show up or they won't show up. It took me 7 months to show up. Another question I'll ask you. How long did it take you to show up? So when we're talking to all these people, I just don't get it. They're not showing up and I'm doing something wrong. And then all of a sudden now we're a squirrel. And now we're off running and doing this different direction, which is not the 5-in-1 for the business. We're over here trying to build Post-its or this verbiage doesn't make sense. So I'm going to redo it. And then you spend 2 days getting ready to get 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 ready. And then nothing happened. And now you're even more in desperation because nobody's signing up. Or you know what? Well, this is a great system, but I need to alphabetize my computer and my desktop, and I need to get my binder. Oh, my binder, I just got to get this. So just go talk to people. Like I said, I came into this not knowing how to use the Facebook. I'm not knowing how to send out emails, just out talking to people. I know in our situation right now, it's not the greatest, but our Facebook platform is amazing for us. It's free. Our Instagram platform is amazing for us. It's free. When your mentor says, go do a live, and they're making decent money, let's just say decent money, whether you're in California all the way over to New York, up into the Dakotas, wherever it's at, and they're successful and they're saying, go do a live, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't know, go do the live. They're successful. They did it before you. They were scared. You heard every one of these stories from Annika to Amber to Amy on here, right? They're all just like you. We all have struggles. We all have desperations. We all have backed into the corner, but we found something that's gotten us out of the corner. We found something that's going to move us forward, just like everybody on this call. Nobody is special. Nobody is Superman or Superwoman or, well, that's just because you are this or that. There's none of that. The other thing I'll tell you is I didn't overthink it so much that most of my friends that are currently struggling in life right now, and egos are through the roof because they've badgered me so much through this business that we're not necessarily friends anymore. I'm going to tell you that does happen. Why? Because I didn't overthink it. My family's safe. I'm financially set. I'm not better than them, but I didn't care what they thought. I didn't overthink it. You're going to have that happen. And I know we're talking about hope here. This is the hope. If you don't listen to anybody's opinions of yourself, you won't make their opinions yourself. We are so worried about what people think that we are frozen to do different things. And like I said, all these people on this call are literally the same as you. We talked about divorce. We talked about suicide. We talked about, I mean, to the deepest, darkest spots on this thing, you have testimonies of people sharing stuff with you, all the way to the lighter stuff, to finances, to struggling to pay bills, to not thinking you're worthy enough to share something or nervous about posting on Facebook. Don't overthink it. You bring on a client, you share your story, you support that client. You then figure out whether they're going to be an amazing coach or they need the other aspects of the program. You bring on a coach and you support a coach. You wash, rinse, repeat. We have videos on how to watch videos. I mean, back when I started this, we was like, let's throw that on the wall and see what happens. Okay, it didn't stick. What's next? Right? You have a system in place. Just like we 5-in-1 our business, you 5-in-1 the program. All these things that are happening. Transparency is important. Everyone is hurting, whatever that level is. It doesn't have to be super deep like some of the topics on here today. Don't reinvent the wheel. Right? I was taking notes because a lot of what I was saying, some of these coaches were already saying, and I didn't want to give you just the same runaround, but some of this is the same thing. How long did it take you to show up? I mentioned that. It took me 7 months. So if I talk to somebody and they don't jump on the bandwagon in the first 30 seconds, guess what? I didn't either. Jamil didn't either. I chased Josh and Michelle for 9 months. 9 months. Hey, you should come with me down to San Diego, California, check out this event. Who the hell is this dude? For 9 months. Did I overthink it? Man, she's going to think I'm a weirdo. Oh, I'm a stalker. Oh, what's Josh going to think? Didn't care. I have a vehicle that's amazing, and I just wanted to share my story with them. If they want it, great. If they don't, they don't. We have the systems here, guys. We have the systems here. You're going to have those people that have opinions, but is their opinions going to pay your bills? Are they in the hurt that you're in? Are they helping you with that? Can this vehicle help you? Some of you are newer coaches and you don't know what this potentially can do for you at a high level. Some of you guys have been around long enough to know What is your life been like? Put a 2 in the chat if Optavia hasn't changed your life, hasn't helped you put your kids in private school. Had you been able to pay down that credit card debt? Had you been able to pay down those student loans? Had you be able to keep the lights on? Maybe bought your dream car, some of the bigger coaches. Maybe been able to go, oh, hey, Bora Bora. Maybe you're dream traveling. This isn't all smoke and mirrors, guys. This is just wash, rinse, repeat. Well, nobody's signing up. Talk to more people. Well, nobody's wanting to be interested. Talk to more people. Well, nobody's coming. Talk to more people. It's that simple. Like I can't remember who said it. The only difference between me and you is I've talked to more people. That's it. I didn't change my story to critique it for this personal trainer, to that guy, to go get this person to do that, or nothing. I'm a male, so I have to go get a female to talk to this female. Guys, your story is going to inspire who it needs to inspire. My time's up. Your story is going to inspire who it needs to inspire. And if it doesn't inspire that person, it's not their time to show up yet. So go talk to the next person. When your coach asks you to create a list, go create a list. When your coach asks you to go put a Facebook Live up on Facebook, they're not asking you to look stupid. Go put it on Facebook. If you don't look professional, guess what? Most people aren't going to look professional. You're authentic. You're transparent. Don't overthink it. That's all I got.
My friend, I love Justin Unplugged. That was so good, you guys. Put a few things that you've learned. That's something that maybe resonated with you. And post it in the chat, because let me tell you guys, you're getting this incredible knowledge for free. And the fact that, yes, go talk to more people. That's all it takes. The only reason why maybe a coach is more successful is not because they know people or because they're doing anything different. It's because they shared their story a heck of a lot more times. And that's all that it takes, is just sharing your story. Have you shared it boldly? Are you sharing that with passion? Are you going out and just sharing with people? I want you to really think about that. You know, Justin, so good, my friend. Thank you so much. And you guys, yes, there are going to be people that maybe they're on your heart, and maybe it's just not their time, like you mentioned. Like Justin said, he chased us for 9 months. He kept inviting us to this event in San Diego. And time after time, it was, nope, not for us. Nope, no thank you. I'm not driving down 2 hours. Nope, I'm good. And guess what happened? We eventually came, right? It's about timing. Some people are just not ready yet, but it's never a no. It's always going to be a not yet. So good, my friend. Okay, guys, I'm excited for our next presenters to come on to really share, you know, what does it take? Again, that's kind of like the motto of the day, right? What does it take? It takes a lot. It takes us, you know, grit, right? It takes persistence. It takes consistency. So I'm excited to bring on incredible Nick and Kirsten LaValle, who's going to share with us. So you guys.
Hey there.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good to be with you this morning. All right. So we're only on day 2. Day 2, put a 2 in the chat if you have heard a story that you can relate to. And something that has really spoken to me is that we're global directors, and we didn't even realize that some of these amazing leaders have had the same struggles that we have. 3 years ago, Nick and I started this incredible journey with Optavia, and y'all, we were in a very bad place, not just physically, but emotionally. Our marriage was hanging by a thread, you know, and it's something that people didn't know. We didn't talk about it, you know. In fact, we didn't even have friends. If we look back, you know, I think to ourselves, we didn't have community. We were so alone. We were in the deepest, darkest place, and we didn't know how to get out. We didn't have hope. You know, we had tried everything, every program out there. You know, we thought about going to counseling, you know, all these different things to try to fix it. And we just didn't know how. And I thank God for that Facebook post that our coach did that literally transformed our life. So ask yourself right now, are you living out loud? If I went to your Facebook page, would I know what you do? Are you sharing your story? Because if she hadn't shared our story, I wouldn't be here. Nick wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have lost 100 pounds each. We wouldn't have been able to go and reach others. I think about people that are now off of their blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, no longer diabetic. I look at my parents who are going to be around longer because we made the decision because somebody posted. So we have to share. We have to share. And so what happened was we had no intention of coaching. We just wanted to start this diet, right? To fix things because we had a lot of fixing to do.
Wow.
And because of our transformation, people started asking, and we just wanted to coach to get our program paid for. Honestly, that's why we wanted to coach, because I had lost my job, right? We're living off of one income. We have 5 kids, and we just wanted to stay on the program. And so what happened is that we thought, okay, 5 people, that will help us to, cover the cost. But those 5 people then turned to 10, and our business started growing. And within 3 or 4 months, we replaced my income. We hit ED within 6 weeks. Within less than a year, we were able to bring Nick home from 15 years in the construction industry that was literally eating him alive. Less than a year. We hit global director. It was amazing. We were making more money than we had ever had before, right? And then guess what? Year 2, we went on a cruise. We thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. An all expense paid cruise that Optavia blessed us with. We were able to take our kids. They had never been on a vacation before. We were living the dream. And then events started to happen that were out of our control. And unfortunately, you guys, we're going to be honest with you. Our mindset shifted to the negative, and we didn't handle it very well. We started doubting. We started questioning. We started thinking, okay, maybe this is not meant to be. Maybe this is not for us. And so it was here. And so I'll be real with you. When the pandemic hit, Nick went and got a job at a grocery store, making $13 an hour. That's where we were. $13 an hour because, oh, it's an essential job. And that's gonna be our security. So I'm gonna let Nick go from there and share. Nick, where was your mindset?
Yank my cord, rev me up. So, okay. So here's the bottom line. We wanted to share the tidbits that she shared because we wanted to bring inspiration, but those things in and of themselves don't bring inspiration. What I was asked to talk to you guys about is grit and determination. So if you've got your pen and paper, which you should have, I've been writing notes. If you've got your pen and paper, I want you to write GRIT, because grit isn't just something you eat for breakfast, especially here in the South, y'all. So, but grit is an acronym. What it stands for is guts, resilience, initiative, and tenacity. And those 4 things are the recipe that when you mix it in a bowl of action, you're going to get yourself where you want to be, no matter what it is that you want to do. The bottom line is that when we were at our lowest of lows, when I was sitting down in front of my tear-filled wife with her chin shaking and this angry, crying, sad look on her face, I remember the words I said. I said, it's gotten that bad. And she couldn't stop the stream of tears. And when I saw that type of hurt, I knew something had to change. Why does it have to get there? Why does it have to wait until when our business started slowing down because we became complacent? Doing the work became cumbersome. Living out the freedoms became the only way we wanted to live. See, in that moment, we lacked our guts, we lacked our resilience, we lacked our initiative, and we lacked the last one, especially tenacity. You know what tenacity is? You guys ever heard of a mongoose? A mongoose looks at an animal 10 times its size and says, I'm hungry. Therefore, I'm going to tear your head off and eat you. And that's the way we should be looking at our business. We should be like mongooses. We should look at the business and say, look, I don't care what comes my way. I don't care how big the obstacle is. I don't care what it is that happens. Justin had it right. You can't live your life literally saying to yourself, I'm going to get into debt to impress people I don't know, don't care about, don't care to know, who don't pay my bills, who don't raise my children, who don't drive my car, who don't deal with my stress, who aren't there when I need to call them. And yet somehow we're okay with letting those people influence our ability to make a phone call, to shoot a text message, to put a post out, to go live. All of those things I just mentioned have changed our life. All of them. Some people might call you the next day. Some people might call you the next year. But I have to ask you, are you going to be a professional at this? Or are you going to lack the grit that it takes to be successful at anything you choose to be successful at? You could make any excuse in the book. I'm not at my goal. I'm not where I was, but I'm not at my goal. I could literally sit here and say, oh my gosh, I'm out of integrity. I can't coach people. I can't. I'm just not allowed. I'm not allowed. No. You're allowed. I don't care who you are. You're allowed. Nobody owns you. You own you. And only you can put yourself into the prison that you lock yourself in. And you have the key. How stupid when we lock ourselves in our own little prisons while holding the key and saying to ourselves, I just don't know how to get out. It's absolutely asinine. And we as coaches in the Optavia community, whether you're new or whether you've been here a while, it doesn't matter. You hold the key. You, Y-O-U, hold the key. There is absolutely zero excuses why you can't be successful. When we got into the lowest part of our mindset, we had to look at each other and say, yeah, we're just feeding on each other's negativity. And then all of a sudden we kind of looked at each other and we're like, this is stupid. And then she was like, yeah, this is dumb. And
What are we doing?
yeah. And we had to come to terms with the fact and be transparent, say, we can do this. And then something happened that shifted our business. Our mindset got right. And all of a sudden we weren't poisoning our own well. That what we were doing was like getting a flat on the highway and then going, well, I got a flat. I might as well stab the other 3 tires. Is that just dumb? Yo, this is not rocket science. What this is pure down-home grit at its best. And it's not even tough grit. It's you. You got to have grit with yourself. Sorry, but I don't give a rat's rear end what anybody thinks of me anymore because they don't pay my bills. They don't satisfy my children's desires. They don't love and date my wife. I do that. These are all my responsibility. So I can't, the most encouraging thing I can say is that you have permission to do what you need to do to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Because as low as we were, and I'll be honest, I'm going to mention the Bible at some point. David, the other thing David said, by the way, and I love it, that Annika brought that, or that Amber brought that up, is David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Listen, the valley is already low, okay? But the shadow of the valley, like even lower into the cracks than the valley already was. Yea, though I walk there, your rod and your staff comfort me. Now, parallel that to our business. You are the rod and staff. As low as you get, you can lean into the tools that you have available to you, your mentorship, the structure. Like, how about the community? Guys, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm struggling because I've been dealing with these things. But if you sit there and you wallow in yourself and you don't have the grit to get out and do something about it, the tenacity to fight your way, like that mongoose, like no one's going to help you but you. They don't know you're struggling. So anyway, I encourage you to fight for you, to be motivated by you, but most of all, to develop the habits you need to develop so that you
Yeah.
can get where you need to be.
And I just want to cap it off by sharing that if we had given up, right, this year has been 2020 has been one of the most lucrative years in our life, in our family. FYI, Nick is no longer at the grocery store, right? He is home, a fully present dad to our 5 kids.
Once again,
We just purchased an RV and are going to go travel and make memories with our kids, and just, live our dreams, because we made the decision that this is what God put in front of us. And this is an amazing gift. And we just want to share it with the world, honestly.
we do.
So thanks, guys.
Yes, you guys. Oh my gosh, that was so good. So good, you guys. It really does take grit, the tenacity. I love how you really broke that down, Nick. Because you guys, you can create anything that you want to create with this. We all have those deep desires in our heart, right? And people are in your circle, your clients, your coaches, the people in your life, they all have those deep desires in their heart as well. And people typically don't share that, right? They don't share that unless those questions are asked. And it's our job as coaches to show why Optavia can give them that. It can give the deepest desires in your heart. And how do we do that? Well, we can't find the desire by that surface level, right? We find that desire by really coming from a place of being a life changer and genuinely asking them and caring about them. And just asking those questions, you guys, because what is your deepest desire? I want you to really take the time today to think about what your deepest desire is, and just know that Optavia can really give you that. This was my deepest desire 9 years ago. And, now that the sun is out and it's not dark, like this is, true paradise here. And this was a dream. And you know what? It's all about creating those dreams and going to work, going into action, because that is what's going to, they say, and it's true, they say that the dreams drive the action. And so I want you guys to really, I hope that today was very powerful for you to really see what is required of us as coaches. But it's just about, going out and, sharing this gift that we have, and just sharing this with people, with every single person that you know and that you don't know, and just being bold about it, and just being, passionate about what it is that we're doing. So that was so good today. I mean, honestly, put it in the chat if today just blew your mind, and today was an amazing day for you. Did anyone recognize with anything that anyone has shared today? And I hope that, it really inspired you and really encouraged you to, play out those dreams and just go for it. So we are going to end with some action steps. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and let's get into today's action steps. Because remember, guys, you can be on today. You can be, listening to everything that everyone has shared today. But if you're not going into action, none of it makes sense, right? None of it is going to do. It requires the action and getting into that action. So day 2 action steps. All right. So we're going to continue to suspend all fear and thinking and just go. You've heard multiple people say this today, is don't care what people are thinking anymore, right? People aren't going to pay your bills. People are going to think what they're going to think, and it's none of our business to know what they're thinking of us. So just suspend all fear of thinking and just go. Win the day cards. When you have these win the day cards, write out what you want to win today. And let me tell you, when you have that action and you have the plan in front of you, let me tell you, subconsciously, it just makes sense for us, right? When we can actually check everything off that we want to do. So win the day cards. Now, this is something that I really want to encourage you, because it's very easy for us to, obviously we utilize social media, right, to share our life. But during this time of season, especially because we are entering the new year, people are going to have, their New Year's resolutions. And so we want to show that Optavia is different than everything out there. And we don't want to just be posting only before and afters, right? We want to post those every day, but we want to share what Optavia really allows us to do. So I'm going to encourage you all today to post or go on Facebook Live and share what coaching has allowed you to do. Share your true story and your authentic story, not just the health version, but share what has coaching allowed you to do. There is no small victory. If it's allowed you to put your kid in private school, if it's allowed you to pay off a car, if it's allowed you to make a car payment, what has coaching allowed you to do? Share with people what is possible with Optavia. I'm going to also encourage you guys to ask 3 clients to share their story, or for them to share your story on their social media. Let's get into their world, okay? Now let's create that dream list. Yesterday, one of our action steps was to post our dreams and our goals and our desires. What is your deepest desire? What are your dreams? And I'm going to encourage you to really map that out. What is your goal in 3 months? What is your goal in 6 months, in 1 year? Let's have that written out. Let's have that somewhere that we're going to see that every single day, because dreams do drive the action. So if you're dreaming big, if you got some deepest desires, let's write those down and let's map that out, because that is what's going to keep us going every single day. The days that it gets hard, the days that we don't want to be doing anything, right? How many times do we wake up and we're like, oh, just not today? Well, guess what? Even on those days, your goals don't care how you feel. So we want to just keep pushing, right? Keep going, because that's where you're going to get to a place where in 3 months, you're going to accomplish that goal that you had. Maybe you're dreaming bigger and you're like, you know what, in 6 months, I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z, and you're able to do that. So we're going to post this in the group, but I hope today was incredible for you guys, because I mean, we learn, it doesn't matter where you are in this business, we're always learning from someone else. And that's so great about what it is that we're doing. I want to thank all of the presenters for being on and just for sharing their hearts and sharing, their lives with us, and sharing, really what it took for them to get to where they are. So amazing. Day 2, you guys. I mean, this is only day 2. I can't even imagine, even after yesterday, we thought, you know what, even one day, day 1 was so explosive. And now we had day 2. And so I can encourage you is, Jamil mentioned this yesterday, is it's very easy for us to be on the first day or 2, first few days, and then we stop showing up. Why? I want to encourage you to show up every single day. Be on this call every single day. Do the action steps, because if we're just here and just listening, yes, it's great motivation for the day, but that's not going to grow your business. What's going to grow your business is you going out there and actually getting into action. So thank you again, you guys. And we're excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be another incredible day. So show up, be present, and let's go have fun, and let's get into action today. So you guys have a good rest of your day.